Call the Board of Works to order. Before we get started, we have a new board member. Welcome, Stephanie. So I'm going to be swearing her in first before we get started. So I'll go down here and swear her in. Okay, Stephanie, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Stephanie Young Johnson,
I, Stephanie Young Johnson,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of America,
and the laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and the laws of the state of Indiana,
the Constitution and the laws of the state of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
execute the duties of my office
execute the duties of my office
as a member of the Board of Public Works and Safety,
as a member of the Board of Works and Safety,
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and according to the law.
and according to the law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much.
Okay, everyone, we will have the clerk treasurer do the roll call, please.
Mayor Lynch?
Here.
Member Collins?
Here.
Member Lewis?
Here.
Member Williams?
Here.
Member Young Johnson?
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Sorry, I'm doing that backwards. Joetta, would you start us off? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have the approval of the minutes of the December 28th meeting.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes of December 28th meeting.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by Jamie, seconded by Scott. Is there any discussion, any changes? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. New business, we have a special event request, Race the Region. Is someone here? Okay, here she is.
Wow, I've never
Good
been.
morning.
Good morning. I've never been first before. Wasn't ready. Hi, my name is Allie Brown, and I'm with Race the Region. We are seeking approval again this year for the third annual Spring Ahead 5K and 15K. It's a benefit for the Portage YMCA. That's it.
So when you went to the clerk's office, did you get all the information about what you have to do?
Yep. I've already, as far as I know, everything's signed off. I talked to Christina on Monday. They sent me over here to you guys. We've already talked to Captain Hughes at the police department and coordinated with them. So as far as I know, we are good with everything on that end, as we have been before. So we are just asking for your approval again this year.
Okay, we'll need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the 5K and 15K Race the Region that is a fundraiser for the Portage YMCA.
I second that motion.
We have a motion by Pat, seconded by Joetta. Is there any further questions, any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you all very much.
Good
I
luck.
hope you have a good warm day.
Yes, that sounds wonderful.
We have the Pulse Furniture quote for the new City Hall remodel.
I can take that if you want. This
Yes,
is
please.
for phase 2. This includes the clerk treasurer's office space for the common area and the private offices, and it also includes the freight and the City Hall lobby on that side of City Hall. The total is $72,781.48. And if we get this going and approved today, we're looking for delivery mid-March, which is on target for when phase 2 will be completed.
I noticed, Clerk Treasurer Rivas, they broke out the cost for the national furniture
Yes.
at $7,222.53. And then the Han furniture was $57,963.55.
Correct, and then,
So-
yep, and then freight is $7,995.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I had to figure that out too.
Yeah,
So it is, so that's not included in that first total of the 72,000?
It is.
It
It
is.
is.
Oh, okay. So we just
but
have
the,
to.
the National and Han quotes are just for furniture only, correct?
Right, right.
And so you have to add in the freight. Okay.
And if you noticed in there, Scott, as well, in Joetta, there were benches for the front lobby of City Hall, so those are our portion. They were in the first part of that document.
Is this the last of the furniture
Yes.
for the new?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is that it, Joe?
should be, yeah. All right. Well, I'll make a motion to approve the proposals from Pulse, for Phase 2 for the furniture for the new City Hall remodel at $72,781.48.
I
I'll second that.
We have motion by Scott, I think, Joetta beat you to the punch.
I was looking right at it.
Seconded by Joetta. Is there any further discussion, any questions? Hoping all this furniture comes in on time and we can get in there. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have bulk item appeals. Oh, wonderful.
Great.
I'm sorry, did we just approve all three of these?
No, they're broken out, so
Okay.
one 7,000 and, so I gave my copy.
Right, that's freight.
Right, the 7,995 was freight, there's another one that's 7,200 and something, I wanna say, that is for the lobby area of City Hall in that Phase 2, and then the 57,000 and change is for the clerk treasurer's office.
But we're approving all three of those?
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
total of them all is the 72,781.48.
Okay, thank you.
They just broke it down.
Thank you.
Okay. No bulk item appeals. We have claims.
I do have one question. I'm gonna make sure, on compensation for Renee Akers, I know in the new salary ordinance, the fire merit board and the police merit board secretaries' compensation was increased. This $40, does that reflect the increase that those positions received, and specifically, in this case, the fire merit board secretary position?
It was probably for last year.
What
So
page
when
is that
we
on,
were-
Scott?
yeah.
Page, what is that, 9, about almost halfway down.
Okay, I see it.
This is $45, I'm sorry.
What-
So this was for December compensation?
No, because it says 122 board meeting, so I can double check on it.
Could you double
But-
check
Yeah,
that?
but all those rates were changed, so it should reflect correctly.
All right,
I
well,
can
just,
double
if
check.
you could, just compare that to the salary ordinance that was approved for that position to make sure the pay per meeting is correct.
Yep. So that was right in the section of the salary ordinance that where the cell phone stipends were increased from 40 to
Yeah.
50, so
Right.
it was updated. I'll confirm.
And Nina, I did have a question, although we need a motion and a second to.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Mayor, I jumped the gun. Apologies. I make a motion that we approve the general accounts payable register contingent upon checking specifically on the fire merit board secretary's compensation, that it is actively reflected on this register for $6,730,678.84.
I second that motion.
I have a motion by Scott, seconded by Joetta. The only question I had, Nina, was, and it comes up every time we have it on here, is that Retrievex, because I see they've now raised their price to $2,011.
They raise it every year.
And 51 cents, and we're still struggling with, what they do.
Yep.
So, just to update Stephanie, they're kind of like a storage facility, that stores hard copy and digital data for, I don't even know what it is. We haven't seen it. And we're trying to check it out because they keep raising the price and
It's the building and maybe some planning. It's just very old records. They're saved, all saved as JPEG, which has substantial amount of storage versus a PDF. It's just getting access and getting a point of contact. I had a hard time getting them to speak with me at all.
So we spoke with
I don't know
them,
if
we
you
spoke
were
with them
sure
quite some time ago, actually,
Right.
and the way they explained it, which was a little confusing, was exactly along the lines of what Nina was indicating. So they have some hard files that the building department indicated that we have to maintain forever and a day. And then they had some electronic storage kind of stuff going on. So we met with Proven on the back end of that, and I think the thought was that we would wait till Proven was all the way done with its, sort of moving things over, getting the system up before we tip that apple cart at all. But I think we're probably to the point, Nina, right, where we can proceed on that if we so desire. And I think that the best answer we got was that our hard files, although they used to be stored somewhere in the city limits because of whatever is going on with that company, they've been moved to someplace in Illinois because we were going to go take a look at what exactly in the state of, what exactly they were maintaining hard files of and the state of those files. So if we want to proceed with that and we're comfortable with proving that they're ready for us to retreat, to proceed with that, I can certainly move on that.
I think the only concern I have is the hard files and where would they go?
Yeah, and that was the other part of
Maybe
it.
stand in, or are they too big, or?
And I think that was the question when we met with the building department after the conversation with RetrieveX representatives. I asked how many files are we talking about here, and the answer we got was, I don't know, we haven't been out there or seen it. It could be a lot. It could be a lot. That was the answer we got. So I think we needed to put eyes on the prize. So when I asked where they're at and where we could go view them, that's when I was told that they had been moved to someplace in Illinois in their storage facility. So I think if we're comfortable at this point sort of moving away from RetrieveX, my next step is going to be to get somebody out there to look at the files that they're holding, the hard files, see if we have a place to move them because we have to maintain those. And then also meet with Proven to get the other data moved over. So I think that's going to have to be a sort of a team effort.
Well, I guess my concern is that we pay $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
It's not once a year cost, it's every single month. So that's a lot of money that we're spending, so I truly would like to see that go away.
And I agree, Mayor. My question is this, is there some type of agreement or contract? I mean, how they just arbitrarily increase our fees? Would there be some document that
Yes.
That gives the reason
control
why.
that? And we have not been able to find any type of agreement or contract
They
with,
didn't
between?
send nothing. They didn't send anything last year when they upped it. We just get the updated bill.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that that's a question that needs to be asked. What gives them the authority and capability to increase the fee if there is no written documentation that allows them to do that?
So my suspicion is, and that's a great question, but my suspicion is this is the exact reason I don't like those auto renewal contracts, and I don't typically
You're
okay
right.
those. So
Yeah.
we're probably looking at a contract from way long ago that auto renews itself. So
Because they've changed their name several times also.
yeah, so we're going to
I
have
just would like
Yeah.
So we'll dig a little deeper in the well. We'll get an answer before the next Board of Works meeting, at least some update, and see what we can do.
They've given no reason to
If you
why
need
they-
somebody to go to Illinois, I'll volunteer.
Oh, you
It's awesome.
want
As
me-
long as it's not downstate.
You want me to ride with you?
Yeah, sure, we can all go. But
So, okay.
seriously, yeah.
So I'll dig back in. I think that
$24,000 a year.
my next call, Madam Mayor, is going to be, I am going to double back around with Proven real quick to make sure we're good, because there was some discussion with them about moving the electronic files over. They had questions as well, so maybe we can start with that and then move further down the line and get this figured out.
Well, because that's $24,000 a year that's coming out of the software budget, I just
Right.
really would like us to get.
And there's no reason we can't somehow get, once we can get the data,
Mhm.
export the JPEGs to be PDFs and have them put into Laserfish to where they're actually easily accessible and
Yeah,
searchable.
All right.
so let's tackle that this year and get that cost down. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there
I have
any
a question.
further discussion?
One more question. So the very beginning, there's a bunch of money that moves. I'm assuming this is money we're paying back.
Yeah.
That we advanced from this year.
For where?
You're talking
Well,
about
it's almost
the New
$6
York
million.
bank?
Is that money that we used in 2021, now we've got to pay that fund back? Or is this actually money we sent to the bank?
No, this already, no, so with the new year start, we have new appropriations, so that's the difference. There's a difference between having cash on hand and the appropriation to match, depending on what fund it is.
Right.
So, no, the city does have that money.
But this money is a check that we're writing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But are we paying like principal on these loans, or are we paying back loans that we advanced ourselves for the year?
No, not in this register. There are lease payment, there's a lease payment in here, there's a lot of.
Nina, I think, are you talking about page 1, Jamie?
Exactly, yeah.
I think he's addressing the things that are
Half
called
of
tax
page one.
anticipated warrants.
So, Jamie, these are tax anticipation warrants.
Right.
So and the city has historically had issued tax anticipation warrants. They're always due once you get your tax draw. So once we get our December tax draw, they're due.
We pay. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry.
Okay, are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, we have the lease payment register that is just one item on there.
This was a wire transfer for one of the lease payments. I had started this register. Diane didn't realize and started another one, that's all. That's why it's on a separate one,
Okay.
rather than voiding it.
And then
And
would
what-
you say that again? What are the lease?
This is for the 2020 equipment lease purchase through the Indiana Bond Bank for the police vehicles
Oh, okay.
from April of 2020 was issued.
Okay, so we will need a motion.
I cut you off. Did you have a question? Okay. I make a motion to approve the equipment lease in the amount of $108,342.09.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Joetta, seconded by Jamie. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. We have major illness claims, Dan?
Yes, Madam Mayor. So there are 9 major illness requests that I've signed off on, and then there are 2 COVID leave requests that I'm bringing to the board as well that I've signed off on. There are some major illness and COVID leave requests that I've not signed off on as of yet because I need further information. So at this point, I would ask that the Board of Works approve both the 9 major illness claims and the 2 COVID leave requests.
Okay, and just because Stephanie's new on the board, would you kind of explain the major illness thing a little bit to her?
So major illness is an available paid time off for the employees with some eligibility requirements. And I'll give you the 100-mile high view, and that's if they're suffering or their spouse or dependent is suffering from a major illness documented. They're allowed so many days that they accrue a year, and they make a request, and then I go through it to determine if it meets the requirement of the paid time off. This is in addition to other paid time off like vacation and sick time. And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. And if they don't, I don't sign it. I don't bring it to the board for approval. If they do, I do. COVID leaves something different. It's what was passed by the Common Council it allows for, with some specific eligibility, an additional paid time off for folks that qualify. They are fully vaccinated, and they still come down with positive COVID. Or now there's another tier that if they have a reaction to the vaccine, that can also in certain circumstances trigger the COVID leave, but it's limited to most employees 80 hours, the fire department's number of shifts, but it works out to the same. So I'm bringing both of those to the board for approval today.
I just got a quick question.
So the other thing, Stephanie, is that that's all HIPAA-related information, and so we aren't privy to any of that information. Dan approves those.
That's a good question.
Basically, all we do is okay them. We just never see anybody's name, so.
So I was asked another question, Madam Mayor. So the question was, if the individual spouse or family member is positive for COVID, does that trigger the COVID leave? And the answer is no. So the COVID leave is available for the employee who has the eligibility, meets the eligibility requirements. However, and along the line of that question, if somebody comes in and they say my spouse is COVID positive, and I need to tend to my spouse through this, that could trigger major illness. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I was, my mind's always ticking. I was curious.
It's very complicated, actually. COVID has really impacted our major illness policies. I mean, because there's so many different scenarios with COVID.
Yeah. And I know different organizations and businesses and cities have different, policies and what stands and what doesn't. So I was just curious to, what ours is, because I'm sure everyone has experience.
We can send you the policy, though. We can send it to all the board members.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that
and
you
really,
have
the general idea of just to really water it down, the general idea behind the COVID leave policy is we want to give an incentive or a benefit for our employees to get fully vaccinated. That's really what it is.
Yeah, I see that. I like it. Well, I make a motion to approve the 9 major illness claims and the 2 COVID leave requests.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Joetta, seconded by Jamie. Are there any further discussions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Other business to come before this board, we have a couple of items. We have Z's contract that we need to approve. Did everybody get a copy of that?
I think so.
So I think it's pretty much the same with one slight, tweak, and that's having to do with late notice of meetings called off. And I think quite frankly, I'm surprised Z didn't have it in there originally, because there were times that he would come to a meeting, a plan commission meeting, and it would be canceled, and he wouldn't know, and they would tell him, so he was there. So I think that's very reasonable, and I would recommend the board approve the contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract for Dark Side of the Light, the services provided by Zernil Shackelford. I think he's done an excellent job. Has been very professional, has shown up and been there and done what the contract has required him to do.
And more than that.
And more than
He's
that,
done a
yeah.
lot more. And I want to thank Scott, because Scott brought Z to us because he knew him, and he's done a great job for us. So, is there any?
I second that motion.
We have motion by Scott, seconded by Joetta. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We have the approval of the precious gems. Nina, do you want to explain that, please?
So this is just something that happens every year. We didn't get the background checks until yesterday, so I apologize, I didn't make the agenda. It's just standard approvals. If you have a business in Portage and you sell precious gems, annually you pay to have a precious gems permit. It's $25. The police department does a background check. They all passed the background check. The companies that applied was BJ Coins, The Estate, Bunch Jewelers, and American Traders.
What was the first one, Nina?
BJ Coins?
BJ's Coins.
Okay.
So we'll need a motion to approve the precious gems permit.
I'll make a motion to approve the Precious Gems permit for the stated businesses that the clerk treasurer provided.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Jamie. Is there any further discussion? I do have a question, Nina. Are they the only ones in the city that do precious gems? Or
I believe so.
Is there any?
I can't think of any others.
I mean, I wasn't aware of that until we started talking about that a couple of years ago.
None come to mind.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there any other business to come before this board? Any other business to come before the board? If not, I will call for an adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Joetta. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Stay.